So then, here it is, the finished state of the Revel 172 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark IIc in North Africa campaign colours of 336 Squadron based in Egypt, 1944. It's an unusual kit for me. Well, not really unusual, but there's some things I couldn't get on with, but that's part of the fun. These are quite fragile. I've broken two and had to put them back into shape, and the undercarriage is shorter than other models of that scale. I say shorter, they're narrower by about a tire's width. I've tried to do a bit of weathering, a bit of dirt underneath the wheels, a bit of dust, supposed to be from the desert landing ground, and a bit of smoke effect on the sides as well. The canopy doesn't quite fit, as you can see, but apart from everything else, apart from obviously that's even bent now, just looking at it, and apart from anything else, it's done. So now have a look of all the different stages it took to build it. Alright, now as is common with a lot of my builds these days, I start off by spraying a bit of primer, in this case grey primer, on the sprue itself, rather than washing it in soapy water for 24 hours. And if it's an unusual colour or a new colour I'm using, I'll test it on the parts before I take them off. As I've done here now to test fitting of the wings as well. So that's the supposed to be mid-stone, but another couple of coats will be needed. Just get an idea of how it goes down and how many coats you're going to need for each part, each colour. And similarly with the azure blue on the underneath. And of course open any holes that need to be opened before parts are put together. So with this case it's going to be a got fuel tanks underneath, so it's got the holes ready for them, and guns, they'll be painted probably before they're taken off, and they can touch them up afterwards. There we are. Next I put the cockpit together and painted it. This got moulded in belts, and do a bit of pre-shading on the surfaces, the parts that move, and carefully paint that in afterwards, giving an impression that there's a gap there that isn't. And I put that underneath cooler radiator in there. Not a great fit actually, but that'll be filled with paint or maybe a little slip of filler. This stage I should be able to just put the this bottom plate and this rear part on, but there'll be so much glue in the air I won't have a break from the smell of glue. Not very healthy, breathing that in all the time. So, and also with these parts here, it's not a very snug fit, so I'll have to have a way of holding them together, get rid of that gap there. Pardon me. But there is the fuselage together with the interior in. You can see how much you can see the interior. That's even without the cockpit on top of it, which will be even harder to see then. But we do it all the same, don't we? The fuel tanks and the underneath bits and bobs are on now, and I've painted a lot of it, but I left this on so I can show you how I've just masked off certain areas, and then obviously just peeled it off and reveal the nice line underneath, so hopefully that'll be suitable. I've also done the brown part of the camouflage, so I've got the cockpit and the exhaust to put on as well. And then it's all the fun of putting in the carriage. I've got the exhausts on, got the canopy on, a bit difficult to paint, but it'll do from the right distance. And I've got the main undercarriage on. I tried to add some bit of stretch like I did with the previous one, but when trying to cut it to size with this side, I accidentally cut off the actual main parts, and was I upset, but I calmed down and I just put a bit of plastic in there to try and make up, because there's no way I can find the original part, which I pinged off and into somewhere in the bedroom. So that's on its way. I've put some decals on because I find sometimes it's better to do decaling if you've not got things sticking up out of the way. With these decals, I'm afraid I must report that they're a bit flighty as far as they don't always stay on, so until you actually put them on with some liquid over them to set them in place, there's always a risk they'll dry off and fall off of their own accord. Whether I'm doing something wrong there, I don't know, but found that to be the case. But it's just a matter of putting the spreader on, and there's an O-ring to hold it in place there afterwards, like a washer. You glue in place. Got the wheels to put on. I've got the rest of the side parts of the undercarriage doors and supports to put on as well. By that time I'll be thinking about weathering it. I've got the guns to put on, so that's a major thing. I've got to be very careful with those because they've got thin parts of them that might snap, so I'll be careful. So there we are.